Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back, and today we're going to do One Piece chapter 1071 review. Let's get into it. The title of this chapter, A Hero's Offensive. We open up the chapter with Kuma crashing right into the red line and causing a lot of chaos at the red port. It seems that Kuma has one more task programmed into him by Vegapunk. And Vegapunk even says it himself when Bonnie is chasing him to fix Kuma. No, sorry, I just can't, but there's a reason for that. So Vegapunk clearly has a plan here for Kuma not to be turned back to normal just yet, right? So he has one more task to do. So Vegapunk is clearly using Kuma here as some kind of weapon, or at least sending a message to the Celestial Dragons, and it's going to be very interesting to see what Vegapunk wanted Kuma to do here. Getting back to Egghead, CP0 is locking down the island and blocking off all exits, and Rob Lucci is definitely looking into how to flush out the Straw Hats, as he definitely does not want to wait for Kizaru to arrive, because obviously when Kizaru arrives, he totally loses his power and Kizaru will take over. And it's really clear that Rob Lucci is completely refusing to accept Luffy as an emperor. I really believe that this will be a defining battle for Luffy as an emperor, and I doubt people will mess with Luffy again, as all we've seen throughout the story recently, especially with Green Bull and Rob Lucci, is that there is a lot of disrespect being handed out to Luffy, and not many people are buying Luffy as the new emperor. Luffy really has to make a statement move here and a statement win to show that he is of those ranks and he should not be messed with. And a lot of people are pointing out how Kizaru, Sentomaru, and Kuma were in the Sabaody arc, where Luffy had one of his greatest defeats, and Luffy's will was completely broken at the time, as he lost Ace as well. This will be a very key moment for Luffy, as he clearly set himself apart from Sentomaru, as Rob Lucci handled Sentomaru, and then Luffy ended up handling Rob Lucci. And with Kuma currently in this state, he is clearly no match for Luffy at this point, and so the clear battle here will be between Luffy and Kizaru, and if Luffy can make a statement win against Kizaru, I think this will really solidify him as an emperor. And with CP0 blocking off all the exits, Lilith offers to go out there and start fighting. However, Shaka Vegapunk objects. He states that it's their duty to prioritize the Stella body's safety above anything else, and that the other Vegapunks are expendable at the end of the day. And this just ends up pissing off Lilith, as she says his goody-goody attitude is starting to get on her nerves. But this really brings into question, would Shaka, since he believes that all the rest of the Vegapunks are expendable, would he turn on the rest of the Vegapunks? And as Lilith and Shaka continue to argue, Pythagoras brings up that they still have an ally on the island, but it's unknown if this ally is another Seraphim that they have in the lab, or it is something else that Vegapunk has developed. But Vegapunk ends up just shamelessly asking this ally for help, and the ally agrees. So we have another ally coming to our side, hopefully, unless Vegapunk does decide to betray us. And looks like the plan right now is for Vegapunk and all of his other bodies to come with the crew. However, what I think they need to do is definitely merge all these Vegapunks together and put all these memories back into the main Vegapunk, because I'm thinking it's really doubtful to have all 7 Vegapunks on the ship, and I think that would just take away from kind of the crew interactions that we have getting to the next island. Even with all this chaos going on, even more ends up going wrong for the Straw Hats, as the lab's defenses end up turning off. This allows CP0 to get inside and leads to Kaku then attacking the ship. And luckily our boy Zoro, who has been here the entire time and just has been sleeping basically this entire arc, finally wakes up and goes against Kaku's attack. And it's hilarious that Zoro's just pissed that someone interrupted his nap. And if that wasn't enough, we shift to somewhere in the waters of the New World, and we see Killer telling Kid, wake up, we're near land. So they're near the home of the giants, Elbaf. And as we know, this is Shanks' territory. And who did Kid lose his arm to? Shanks. So is this going to be a rematch between Kid and Shanks? And is this setting up Kid to defeat Shanks here? Because why else would Oda kind of bring up this matchup once again, since Kid already lost to Shanks previously? And interesting enough, the Straw Hats will have to end up coming to Elbaf and maybe potentially bringing Vegapunk with them. So is this going to bring a beef between Kid and Luffy and give them another reason to fight? So this will be very, very interesting going ahead here. And if that wasn't wild enough, we shift to G14, where Garp is having a conversation with Doll, and he's asking for some manpower. But Doll is like, nah dude, we need to send all our manpower to Egghead Island right now. And Garp is kind of funny here, as he clearly knows that Luffy is on Egghead, so he's honestly trying to help Luffy out here as well, right? He's trying to take some manpower from G14, help Luffy out a little bit. But it turns out that Garp wants to head to Hachinosu to save save Kobe, and he's bringing Helmeppo with him. So this brings up the biggest question, honestly, for me. Is Garp enough to beat Blackbeard and potentially Blackbeard's crew? And we know that Garp is definitely one of the top characters in the verse, and I don't know where people are ranking Garp, but I definitely don't think people are putting Garp over Blackbeard, and I think this is going to be a very, very interesting fight. But honestly, I'm not underestimating Garp in any way, and I think this is going to be a crazy battle between the two. And this brings to question what is going on between Blackbeard and Law right now. Is that battle even over right now? Is Blackbeard even on Hachinosu right now, or is only Blackbeard's crew on Hachinosu right now? If Blackbeard is not actually there right now and all Garp needs to do is take down some of Blackbeard's crew, I think that's definitely possible for Garp. There is no way anyone else, maybe Shiryu has a chance against Garp, and maybe a Shiryu Garp battle would actually be pretty interesting. But this would also be very, very sad if what ends up happening is that Luffy ends up losing Garp. That would be hella sad, as this is definitely a parallel arc to the Sabaody arc and the Marineford War. So I would wonder, maybe would Luffy end up losing Garp here, and that's what kind of triggers him to go off against the world government? I have no idea. This is complete conjecture on my side. Overall, I thought this was absolutely a crazy chapter. We got a lot of crazy information in this chapter, but it's kind of all cliffhangers, so I have no idea where we're headed next. And all I know is that there's going to be a crazy battle on Egghead, there's going to be a crazy battle on Hachinosu, and there's definitely going to be something involved where Garp is in trouble and Shanks is in trouble. That's all I know so far. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and that's all I got for you. Peace.